Welcome back. Today is Thursday, and that means Acting Analysis Day. And today we're going to talk about Westworld again. There were some good episodes, some episodes. I'm kind of ho-hum on this whole season. I'm going back to episode 7. It's a couple weeks earlier, and there's still something I wanted to talk about, and that is this week's Acting Analysis. So let's get right into it as always. In this clip, I want to talk about eye darts. I know I am harping on eye darts, but there's something about contrast and how people behave, how you can achieve contrast with their state of mind and how they're looking around, how nervous they are. Looking at these two characters, you got the security guy who is very confident, he has a mission, he knows what he talks about, and he's confronting Bernard, and zero eye darts. I mean, there's some blinks every now and then, he kind of refocuses, but it's mostly he's mostly pretty focused on Bernard, whereas Bernard just woke up. He's kind of processing things. I mean, he's not in a good state. If you're watching this season, he's not in a good mental state, and physically and operationally doesn't quite work. And he has a lot of looking and processing and understanding and trying to figure out what's going on. So if you look at him, look at this. He goes around, very, very long stare at Bernard, looks over, long stare, no blinks, no darts, always checking. Looks at him, bam! Just full on, I am in on you, and look at him. So you got the contrast between these two guys here in this shot. Look at that. He stares and stares. There are some looks, there's some darts here and there, but look at this. He's like, I know you know. And then you can see Bernard, he's processing, looking around. This is the only time where he kind of looks away and he has his little moment there. Bam! Back locked on him. And look at this, lots of blinks, lots of darts. There are going to be a lot of examples, I'm guessing, if I know myself, that I'm going to bring up and talk about this. Just because I think it's something that is, again, it's not to say it's easy to animate that. It's something that you can add to your character to give it more texture. There's another layer to your character. Is the character always kind of staring? It's kind of like this, there's this clip online with Michael Caine talking about characters don't blink if they're confident. Kind of an old classic clip. But there's something to it about if you have two characters, what if one is always staring and the other person is constantly looking away, not being able to maintain eye contact and constantly blinking? I try to put that into my shots and try to think about that. When am I blinking? How many times? When do I add eye darts? Like one of the cliche thing about, oh, let's just add some life to your character, add some eye darts. But there's, you got to be careful how many darts you add, when, and everything. But it's still something that's underused in shots that I see from students. And I think something that, if you can, you should start thinking about. This other clip is totally different. Nothing to do with eye darts. Let's say you have a pantomime shot. There's no audio, you just want to do something where characters just emote, but nothing crazy physical. Like, what could you do? And there's this scene that kind of struck me where characters are behind a window and there are other characters, and one character whispers to the other. I mean, let's play the scene here. And you can see she wants something from Bernard. Again, she's very intent here. This goes back to no darts, no blinks. Look at that. Such a long stare. So she wants something from him, and he is breaking down. He just has a really, really hard time maintaining his, his current presence. And these guys, again, there's a window. They don't quite understand what's going on, and they hear it. I mean, there is audio, there's a microphone, there's something they can hear what the characters are saying. But there's this moment where she goes around, talks to him, and it comes to a point where she starts whispering. And you can see he's breaking down. It just doesn't quite work. And she realizes, yeah, this is not quite working. We're not breaking through. And I love these moments here when she gives him a command and he goes back into robot mode. There's something else I want to talk about later on in Game Night that has kind of a similar switch where with the same actor where he's doing something, he's pretending to be someone in, because it's a game, and then he switches back to his normal self and his acting is totally different. I love that stuff. But in this show specifically, I love when they switch between whatever emotion and then back to just, neutral, no emotion, just robot mode. But there's a cool layer to this as well. But anyway, going back to this, she questions things and he ends up telling her what she needs. And there's this moment where she whispers and he tells her what's happening, but you can't hear it. And in the episode, you can't hear it. And you can see like what is going on. And there's something that could be interesting in your pantomime shot where maybe someone is far away and is trying to hear something. And the two characters are either whispering or they realize that they're listening to us let's say something, but we kind of whisper. It's almost like 2001, where they talk, but then Hal does the whole lip reading type of thing. This could be interesting because then you can animate your character, really trying to listen. There's something where, what's going on? And then the reaction between the characters where you have to sell it all through the facial takes, the facial animation, because we can't rely on the audio. So going back to this, they don't know what's going on, and it's interesting. Just see here how she gets up in the reflection, and she has that little thing here. And again, I love those little subtle moments where someone just kind of looks and goes, yeah, that's it. It's such a cool moment. Again, this could be all achieved without any lip sync, without any audio. You have a character trying to listen to someone else. Maybe, not that you have to copy this scene, but two characters are whispering and one character got the information, looks up and does a little like, yeah, I got the information, or whatever, stylized version you want to do. The extra layer that I want to talk about is that's tragic for Bernard, is that when she tells them, okay, well, you tell me what you just told me, and he goes, well, what do you mean? You can see there's still a tear going down, even though he is in robot mode and he is in, not debug mode, but like she gives him a command, like, tell me what's going on. He doesn't completely turn off and just give her the information. He is still aware enough that I just gave up something that I really didn't want to. And you can see this in this where he still has the tears coming down. And you can still hear another one. Tragic moment in Bernard, but that's kind of his arc in this. It's all very tragic. But anyway, I think these are cool moments that are underused. There's something about people whispering, just kind of guessing what the other character is hearing and saying, and then reactions that are unspoken, just someone getting up and going, huh. Or even you can go further where the character has the information, gets up and goes like that, and the other character goes, Again, you can do a lot of speaking dialogue without actual audio. And as always, iDarts, again, a big fan of contrast. How is one character moving? How is the other character moving? If you have two characters, what could you do to set them apart to give this a bit more interest to the shots? They're not both acting the same. And little things like iDarts, just like a blink or a head turn, every single move depends on you and your frame. Did you add one more frame to this? How is that changing the character, the attitude? How is the audience going to perceive that moment, that acting moment, just because you added one frame or two frames or a head turn that's slow, a head turn that's fast? All those single things are all in your power. You as an animator, you have the power, and it's your duty, it's your job, it's very dramatic here, to make sure that every single frame is there for a reason. There's a purpose to every single frame that you're adding. This Sunday is going to be the last Westworld episode. I'm curious if there's going to be something else that I'm going to record and then show in these acting analysis moments, but this could be the very last one. There's one more thing I want to show, but I might combine that into another acting analysis just as kind of a background add-on shot. But I think that's it for me in terms of Westworld for Season 2. If you like this, give this a like. As always, subscribe and hit the bell button if you want to get all the updates for all the daily uploads. And if you watch the whole thing till the very end, you are a very patient person. Thank you for doing that, and I'll see you next week or tomorrow for an FNA.